until they heard the immediate superior call the man chairman. Only then did everyone realize in fear that the person they had just bullied so harshly was someone they could not afford to offend. It turned out that just earlier, Jack had brought a group of co-workers to William's restaurant to eat. After they finished eating, Jack had no intention of paying and was about to leave. William immediately blocked their way and demanded payment for the meal. But Jack was very puzzled. They had clearly been eating free lunches here for 3 years, so why was there suddenly a charge now? William immediately explained everything. It turned out that 3 days ago, his daughter had gotten married. William had just closed the restaurant for 3 days to go home. Unexpectedly, when he reopened, he was targeted by the group of co-workers, especially Jack, who came to the restaurant to cause trouble in public, bluntly saying that William didn't tell him about the 3-day break, which caused them migrant workers to go without lunch for 3 days, and even going so far as to demand compensation from William for those 3 days. Seeing Jack's aggressive manner, William finally saw his true nature. He never thought that the person he had kindly helped would repay him like this. William angrily kicked Jack out and immediately tore down the poster on the door that offered free lunches. He swore he would never again provide free lunches to migrant workers. Little did he know that this move would cost him dearly. Jack, seeing that William insisted on charging for meals and even wanted to cancel the free lunches, was instantly enraged by this. So, relying on his recent promotion to project manager, he began to exercise his authority in William's restaurant. He not only ordered William to continue providing free lunches, but also to upgrade the lunch standards. If William didn't agree, they would smash the place. Of course, William would not agree to such an unreasonable demand. Seeing this, Jack immediately ordered his men to smash the restaurant and even beat William when he stepped forward to stop them. He cursed at William, calling him shameless. 3 years ago, he was the one who had voluntarily offered free lunches, and now he suddenly stopped without warning. Truly heartless. William also truly didn't expect that Jack could bully him like this, but he did not give in. Seeing this, Jack once again beat William, and even wanted to post William's so-called shameless behavior online to make him suffer criticism from countless netizens and to force his restaurant to close down. Fortunately, at the critical moment, William's son-in-law, Thomas, arrived in time and stopped this farce. He then accused Jack and his group, saying his father had let them eat free lunches here for 3 years, yet they not only failed to be grateful, but even smashed the place. Is that something a human being should do? At this point, the onlookers agreed, and many felt indignation on William's behalf. They figured William must have spent a lot over these 3 years. Then Thomas calculated the bill in front of everyone and found that this group, over 3 years in his father's restaurant, had consumed about $350,000 worth, and yet they were still not satisfied. But Jack didn't care at all, and even told Thomas to mind his own business, not knowing that the man in front of him was actually the chairman of their corporation. But the others, unaware, refused to believe that William's daughter was capable enough to marry the corporation's chairman, so they still refused to let him go. Seeing them bully like this, Thomas was ready to fire them all on the spot, but in return he was met with merciless laughter from the locals, with many thinking Thomas's chairman identity was fake. Seeing they didn't believe him, Thomas had no choice but to call the HR department. But the next second, Jack knocked the phone to the ground and threatened William, saying the free lunches must continue. But William had already seen their true colors and still refused. Seeing this, Jack urged his men to continue smashing the restaurant, even smashing antiques worth millions inside. When Thomas told him to pay for the damages, Jack was even arrogant enough to have his people beat them, bluntly saying the corporation had people protecting him, and that if anything happened, it wouldn't be their fault. So, under Jack's instigation, the group of workers beat up Thomas and William. Helpless, in order to save himself, Thomas had to tell them he had the corporation's seal in his pocket, which could prove his identity. Upon hearing this, his men immediately took the seal and handed it to Jack. But after checking it, Jack said the seal was fake. What kind of real corporate chairman would carry the seal around? This was obviously just a prop William had prepared in advance because he didn't want to provide free lunches. Jack loudly cursed William as despicable. William really didn't expect that the migrant workers he had helped for 3 years would treat him like this, not only beating him, but also smashing his restaurant. Hearing this, even the onlookers couldn't stand it anymore, but they were afraid of Jack's influence, so they didn't dare act rashly. And when Jack saw that William still refused to continue providing free lunches, he was about to teach him another lesson. Just then, the deputy general manager of the corporation's branch came to eat at the restaurant and happened to see this scene. Seeing him, Jack immediately told the deputy GM what had happened earlier, bluntly saying that the owner here had bullied them migrant workers, so they taught the owner and others a lesson. The deputy GM was shocked after hearing this. He knew very well that the owner of this restaurant was no ordinary person, so when he saw the face of the beaten man, he was so stunned he couldn't speak. But the others, still unaware, continued to slander William, even saying Thomas was impersonating the chairman and that the police should be called immediately to arrest him. Hearing this, the deputy GM trembled all over in fear and immediately slapped Jack. He accused them of intentional assault and provoking trouble, not only eating without paying, but also smashing the owner's store. He then immediately fired everyone present. While everyone was still confused, the deputy GM hurried over to William and Thomas to apologize, saying that they would fully compensate for all the damages in the restaurant. It was only after hearing the deputy GM call the man chairman that everyone realized what a huge mistake they had made.